a warm gray white. You can see there. We're going to use that for the color of the eyeball. You don't want to use whites there because nobody's eyeball is truly that way. Sometimes people put a hint of blue in them or hints of pink. So the actual inside area here of the eye is like right here is the area that's slightly pink. So depending on what view you have of the face, you might indicate that. So that's all I did. It's already helping our eyes a lot. You want to make sure to look at your eyes and make sure you're not creating a cross-eye situation. Put just the right amount of white. Make sure the dark parts of the eye are still facing the right direction. I'm going to actually open up the eye a little bit here. And that's all I'm going to do there for now. I'm going to mix a very light skin tone for my highlights. This is a similar concept. We're still focusing on highlights and dark areas, but we're detailing them, so we're working with a smaller brush, working with smaller areas. Now we're going to implement the eyelid situation here and look at all the light areas on this particular eye. Now you can kind of zoom into areas versus before we were working the whole series. We're going to kind of take our time and do each feature. So I've made a highlight on the eyelid and right here over the eyelid, that kind of under eyebrow area. This is also very light. Again, spend more time looking versus painting. It's all about copying what's on your actual photograph. We're going to water down some white. I'm going to use basically a watery brush with a hint of this white to create these kind of realistic parts of the eye, the little highlighted areas. So I slightly just put it there. The thing is you want to match them up on each eye, so you are kind of going to go bounce from one eye to the other eye. Wherever you put it on one eye, you want to match it to the other eye. Just like that. That already gives us a realistic feel. This particular baby's eyes are very dark, but nobody truly has black eyes. Everybody's eyes are dark brown, so we're going to put a hint of a lighter brown right here. And we're going to make the pupil, which is that area in the middle of the eye that's black on every eye. That small round circle. It's going to help our eyes look realistic as well. Right there. Okay? So again, we did the white areas, and we're also going to put a little black under the eyelid over our actual eyeball right there to just create some depth. Not a lot. You don't want it to look like eyeliner. Mixing a dark brown for my shadows, for my darkest darks. That's just the brown and the black. Now I'm kind of looking at the shape. I think I slanted the eyes a little more than they actually are, so I'm opening up my eyes. That's better though than making them too big and then having to erase. And I'm also indicating the shadow part of the eyelid in this instance. Okay, I'm gonna blend that out some. Switch over to the other eye to kind of give me a break. It's fine. It's kind of more full there. Again, we want to make the shape of the eye more accurate so that it is. Our eyebrows just slightly darker here. It has a squinty look on my painting versus actual photographs, so I'm going to kind of take that away by extending the bottom here. There we go. Now we're going to open up on the other side. So I'm doing that by adding dark. Basically making that dark part of the eye bigger. And more prominent. Again, we're going to add the eyelid shadow now, so the eyes are really popping out. Starting to notice too is that there's some shadows here. So again, I'm watering down the brown. I don't want things too dark. Got that there. And I'm going to slightly move down to start working on, since I have this brown, I'm going to start working on the nose a little bit to define it. This is where you can now define the nostrils with your shadow color. It's not that dark right there, so I'm going to bring the nude back in because the shadow is not the same, not as dark there. It's more so the same as the one by the eye, just extends itself. There we go, more natural. Notice that little detail there, that it's faint. Okay, a little bit of a shadow there going into the cheek. There's also this little swoop area above our lip, and that's what I'm going to try to implement now. It's normally highlighted, this little area. I'm not going to go too bright with it first, just to shade up from what I have down here. And it normally also defines this top lip feature. So you kind of start to see that up here. And then there's a warm area there anyway. I'm going to take some clean white because mine is kind of muggy. This is quite drastic though, so we want to blend that. We want to put right on the tip of the nose. You always have a nice little highlight there. So I'm brightening them up. See how I did one that was more neutral? I kind of did all my neutral highlights. Now's the time to kind of really pick out the lightest parts and put the highlights there. There we go, it's already detailing. Again, this forehead one is nice and strong. And there's definitely one on this eyelid. Okay, so now we can highlight this cheek more. I'm not really scared, I'm kind of going in doing it because this whole area is the lightest area on the painting. Although that was a little bright. So I'm going to neutralize it. Don't want to look like she has bangs under her eyes. She's not. And she doesn't. So there we go. You see, I'm kind of, again, doing this round thing where I'm blending the paper out with a dry brush. My brush is almost dry and I'm doing a circular motion to blend the highlight in and make it look more natural. Now I've added a little paint here, so it's a little wet. Doesn't work as good when the brush is really wet. So I'm using my finger. Okay. So we finally got some nice strong highlights. The picture is looking less eerie and flat. Starting to pop out a little more here. Extend some of this highlighting to down here. Definitely going to use my hand for that. This highlight also is brighter than what I had. Blending that out. Oh, right here. This connects. Without messing up the shadow completely. There we go. Okay. There we go. I'll show you how to incorporate just a little bit of red. And then again, we're going to lighten up. Going to give our ear some nice bright highlights too, because it looks like that's actually the side where the light was hitting. So the ear is definitely going to be highlighted because it was getting most of our light. And it goes out. Okay. I want to look at the overall shape of the face and make sure it's matching up. Because when you put the background in, you can also maneuver some things. You can trim the face out. But I think we're looking pretty accurate at this time. So I'm going to move on to the hair. And then we will add a little bit of orange and red tones, which I'll get for you, but let's move on to the hair. So I'm making a dark brown, black and brown mix. And again, I'm just going to kind of, because her texture is curly, I'm moving my brush in a round fashion, just like I did on the skin. So that my initial strokes are already giving it like a curly, kinky look. Plus, baby hair is very like thin, not super thick in general. So I'm going to do my hair up here dark, and then when it gets closer to the scalp, I'm going to use what's left over on my brush to just get it some slight indication of hair, because that hair around the forehead is much lighter than the mature hair up here. Make sure you're sticking to the shape of the head while you're putting the hair, not extorting the shape in any way. Don't worry about any parts or anything. Just kind of put your base down. And again, then we'll come back in detail. Oh. Get that out of there. No worries, we haven't even painted that area. Okay, and then I'm going to indicate these little hairs here on the front by just doing that so far. We will define them a little bit so it doesn't look like just dirt on someone's head, like you can tell it's actual hair. So we will define those curls a little bit there. Again, we're just doing the initial base. Now I'm going over it, trying to thicken it. Using my fingernail at this point. It's going to help me lay it down better. Really works, you guys. Your hands are like the best painting, the best brush sometimes for the larger areas. She has like some cute little pony up top. Definitely going to notate that. Really can't see what else is going on there because the way the photo is, so we're going to do exactly what we can see. Our actual hair actually fades a little bit. This is our background. So our background is dark just like the hair. That's going to make a big, that's going to be important to know because that means that in order for our hair to not fade into the background, we're going to have to highlight it. So you see I'm putting a little bit of white in with the brown and already putting the little highlighted areas, especially in that pony and towards the edges. Well, I'm putting them where they are in the photo, but I'm also being mindful of the dark background. So we will be able to differentiate between hair and background. So those are like really my main highlights. I am going to bring the parts of the hair back in because there's some parting there. Looking good so far. Okay. That is that. I'm going to do a little barrette in this tutorial as well. we're going to go ahead and pretty much finish up the face. I am going to get a little brown and orange at this point, or just a hint of orange and red, actually, because we need a little for the lip. So bear with me. Any red or orange will work. I'm using kind of a bright one because I'm going to neutralize it with my paint. Just going to put a tiny bit of the red, actually. Tiny dot. Get my small brush. Mix it in with some of the neutrals like I already have going here with that main caramel color I used for the skin tone. And a little white to make like this warm skin color. As you see, it's almost like a blush. And more white to it. To kind of give the lips just a slightly warmer feel, like nothing too drastic. Because again, we're going for a real natural look here in this particular situation. Here we go. Bring my highlight back in though. Don't want to lose the values. It's very slight. It just basically looks like a warm tone. I think I'm gonna switch to a smaller detail brush at this point. As far as these parts on the head, we're going to take the lighter color, maybe just a little darker than that. I'm going to indicate just some slight parts here. Keep looking at your photograph, blend them in a little bit. So that's too light. Even though the light is hitting it in the picture, the parts should still be the same tone as most of the skin. And tone them down a little bit. And first, I'm just going to lightly draw them in. And there's one here. There's the start of one there. Meanwhile, while I have this, I'm just going to indicate kind of what's going on with the collar here. Just to give us some perspective. And fill it. I'll do some slight shading there too to show you guys how to do the details on the clothes. But a lot of portraits, you might just have like a face and just some basic stuff like this on the bottom, just to indicate the color or what the person had on. So all you really need to do is put the color down, and then while it's wet, add the highlights. Add the highlighted areas. Like that. And add the shaded areas, and that's basically it. So same thing above here. I'm going to wet this back so that it's all still ready for us to detail. And I'm going to go ahead and put the little highlights with my white paint. Just enough to make it give it a little 3D look. And then where I see them here, again, just looking one more time before I do the shadows and get all my light parts out the way. Okay, there we go. The one thing I've noticed when looking at this photograph, the baby's mouth is slightly open. However, on my painting, I drew it closed. So in that case, I need to go in and I need to make that dark line. I need to make that dark line in the middle back. Don't want to make it super dark, but I want to, that's what will help the mouth look like it's open, slightly. It's not open enough to where you can see her teeth, but she has a little bit of an opening there. There we go. And it's faded out. You don't want it to look like a line. You still want to blend some of it. And I want to pay attention to my nostrils. Make sure I got the right shape there. Everything looks pretty good. This collar is actually up higher. If you could look at our photo, you could tell.